Heads up, heroes, it's time for another Smash of the Month, and this is the best darn thing in comics for December 2013. Last month was a fantastic month from almost every publisher out there. The couple of these featured picks that I would like to recommend: Black Science #1 from Image Comics, and then BPRD Hell on Earth, part of the Mignolaverse, from Dark Horse. Consistently good stuff that you should be reading on a monthly basis, in my opinion. But the Smash of the Month for December 2013 is none other than Godzilla Rulers of Earth #7 from IDW Publishing. Now, this is a comic that I've been reading. I've been reading all the Godzilla series from the get-go, and I would not be able to recommend some of the earlier entries, but this particular series has been off on all cylinders. And so the art is by Matt Frank, the writing is by Chris Mowry. This team works very well together. Neither one of them are strangers to the Godzilla movies or to IDW's treatment of the Godzilla franchise. There's also fill-in pages and alternate covers by Jeff Zarno. So the artwork and storytelling are consistently good, and what they do is they adeptly bring some of the more obscure characters into this story, like when they brought in the first issue Zilla from the 1998 Godzilla movie starring Matthew Broderick, which people tend to very much dislike. They brought it in, and it worked really well. It really got everybody, interested and motivated that things that was and excited that it was going to be a good series, and it has been. The last issue that we had, Godzilla had made a beeline for Las Vegas, and he tackled an upgraded cyborg monster named Gigan. And then the aliens, they came in and they brought in a new monster, Orga, sorry, and the humans, they launched a new kaiju fighting robot called Mogira, and that went into battle to help Godzilla fight the other two. Anyway, the battle turned for the worse, and then suddenly Jet Jaguar comes flying in, and he's human size, and he's not really much of a threat, but he basically gets swallowed by Orga, and then he explodes Orga from inside by increasing his size. So that's a spoiler for the last issue, but this issue, it's basically got it all. Jet Jaguar, first of all, he was a creation from the 70s in Godzilla vs. Megalon. It was supposed to be a Jet Jaguar solo movie in response to the Ultraman fad from television, and kids were just going crazy over that, so they wanted to try to capitalize on this and get some of those ticket sales into the Godzilla franchise. Anyway, it was pretty much a financial disaster, and it was not received as one of the best entries in the series. But the challenge here was to fit in a rather unrealistic type robot character into a already credibility thin story about giant monsters. It's basically Pokemon style battles where nobody dies, but these monsters try to tear each other to ribbons and destroy humanity in the process. Well, this issue's got it all. It's got mass destruction, it's got allies versus allies, monster battles, robot battles, alien conspiracies, even robots punching spaceships. It's very easy to catch up to this particular story. You never lose sight of the human element, but the story chugs away almost as fast as the action. And it's one of those books where I definitely look forward to it every single month, and I'm chomping at the bit to get to the next issue, because they tease the next one as kind of a battle royale between a host of Godzilla's allies and enemies. Now we also have, in addition to the Smash of the Month, it's the Year and Smash of the Year pick, which I would say is the best darn thing that came in comics for all of 2014. And this one is where you send the kids out of the room because it gets a little bit less kid-friendly, and that's going to be Sex Criminals from IDW. Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky, they put a book together that is basically what you get when you combine dirty sex jokes and supernatural powers, science fiction, crime, relationships, and a lot of other adult stuff, and just mix it all in a big bowl, which sometimes would be just a dirty book, which the name implies, but in this case it really works out. It makes for a very compelling story. So, Fraction, you know him from Hawkeye, Inhumanity, Satellite Sam, also from Image Comics, also from the past, Immortal Iron Fist, one of my favorite storylines. But, in this particular story, you've got Susie, the main character. She has a power that activates whenever she's engaged in the sex act, and that's to stop time around her, and she gets to move around throughout the world while time stands still for everybody else. Crazy, yeah, but it works. And then she meets somebody who has a similar ability, and the story is about what normal people do when they are faced with this particular type of situation. It's not Black Kiss, it's not super sex filled. It's sweet, it's touching, it's romantic, but also a little bit naughty and very, very funny. One of the highlights in this is a musical, multi-page musical number, which you would think, how would a musical number work in a comic book? Well, it does, but the most entertaining part about it is not just the visuals, but also how Fraction has to use the dialogue balloons instead of the lyrics to the song. He has to explain how they didn't get the rights to use the lyrics, so it's Fraction narrating in that part. But it works. It's funny. And Zdarsky's artwork combines with Becca Kinsey's colors to create a visual feast for the eyes, and I don't use that term lightly. They're not made to look like models or beautiful celebrities, but these people are attractive and compelling in their actions and characterizations, their expressions. Of course, there's the complications. Other people come into the mix, and they don't like these guys using their powers to stop time for their own purposes, and things go from there. We're up to issue 3 now. Fraction's superhero work's obviously very well known, but he really is excelling at telling this story that he seems to really want to tell. So it's a perfect combination of comedy, crime, romance, science fiction, and a good old sex romp. It's all a very enthralling story, so I'm very looking forward to the next book. Very relatable, so pick it up and enjoy. And have a great 2014. Fare thee well.